With the stimulus bill passed through the House and the Senate, checks will get cut for millions of Americans to help them through dry economic times. But that urge to splurge can be too tough to resist. Joining us with tips on how to curb impulse spending is Howard Dvorkin, chairman of Debt.com. It's great to see you again.
Always a pleasure, young lady.
Why is it that as soon as that check hits your hand, drops into your bank account, you want to spend it?
Because Americans are addicted to spending. We love nice stuff. And the fact of the matter is that right now you're getting some free money and you're going to go out and buy something. A lot of us are going to go out and buy something. Now, some of us are going to be smart and we're going to put that towards bills maybe that have backed up, or better yet, put it towards the credit card balances that are charging you 25%. But the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, America's pastime used to be baseball. Now it's shopping online. We hope that people save it, but they're not going to. They're going to spend it because people like to spend. The reality is things are going up for a number of reasons. There's shortages of lots of products out there, and the manufacturers are charging a premium for that. I mean, whether it's food in the grocery store, whether it's consumer goods coming from China, everything is going up, and unfortunately the consumers are going to have to bear the brunt of that regardless of how big this stimulus package is. We can honestly say at this point, it looks to me like we're heading into a slight recession, not now, but maybe a year from now or a little bit further.
Okay, I want to talk about that a little bit more because we've always been wondering, okay, when is the next recession going to come? They were saying that that was going to happen last year, but something completely different happened. Obviously, we're talking about the COVID-19 pandemic. But I want to also discuss how people can start cutting back on their spending with things that are really unnecessary. A lot of people like to have their groceries delivered to them. That comes with usually a delivery fee. Is it cheaper to have it brought to you or you to go to it?
No, you have to go to that. Then typically most grocery companies that are delivering will charge you a service fee. Some waive that service fee that maybe that if you buy a certain amount, but maybe you have to buy $100 or $200, which a lot of us don't have that kind of money. But we're also putting those groceries on our credit cards, which is also a problem, and then paying a interest rate if we're carrying balances on that purchase. So everything is going up, as we said. I mean, basically going through, and some of these conveniences we have found during the pandemic, such as Netflix has gone up. They increased their prices. Maybe you didn't even have Netflix or didn't know about it, or maybe you have 5 different subscription services, Disney Plus and Hulu and God knows what else. Sure. And all of a sudden you have 5 of them, and that's $50, $60, maybe $100 a month of extra charges. You can cut back on them, take inventory and see what you're actually using. You also have newspapers and subscriptions. I used to get a health subscription. I'm the most unhealthy human being on the face of this planet. I don't even know why I signed up. I never read it.
It made you feel good to subscribe to it. You look fabulous, by the way, Howard.
It was an effort of trying.
You want to know, and you look so good that I want to bring you back after the commercial. So why don't we take a break here and we'll see you in 2 minutes.
Thanks so much.
We're back after this. Welcome back. We're here with Howard Dvorkin, chairman of Debt.com. And it's that nasty word debt that we don't want to find ourselves in. And we've been discussing about how people just have this addiction to spending their money and finding themselves in debt constantly. But there are smart ways, especially in these times, to do so. And we were just talking about subscriptions, and you said that you subscribed to a health newsletter, which cost you how much?
I think it was maybe $100 a month, and I just rarely read it because, my tax newsletters and my economic newsletters are so much more interesting.
God, that's $1,200 for a year. That's
No. They are expensive. Things are very expensive. You have to be careful. But the fact of the matter is, people need to go through and make sure whatever they're buying matters. They're using, meaning when you go shopping, make a list beforehand for food. Make a list, write down what exactly you need, and more importantly, stick to that list. Don't get sucked in by, the Fritos or the potato chips that are on sale that probably you shouldn't be buying anyway. Go through and make sure when you go to the grocery store that you eat a meal, a little snack beforehand. Studies have shown that you will spend more if you're hungry when you go shopping. And also, if you're hungry, you're not going to think that much about the purchase. And this applies to every purchase because you just want to get back and feed your face. And
our nutritionist has also given us that same advice. Never go to a grocery store hungry. And it's so true. But you want to avoid a lot of those prepackaged snack foods because those are some of the most expensive things that you're going to buy as opposed to, a couple of apples or something. So when you buy stuff that you know is going to spoil, you can freeze it. You can save it for later, but to freeze a lot of things. And then how about for people who swear by the big box wholesale stores?
Buy things in bulk. You need to buy things in bulk that you use, toilet paper and all the other stuff, the supplies that you use, but also some of the food that's not going to spoil. I mean, I have a bag of raisins. I think it's been in my cabinet for 2 years and it still hasn't hit the expiration date, but it might break my teeth. But the fact of the matter is, buy things in bulk as much as you can, but be careful because those are very expensive purchases. Every time I go to one of those big box stores, it's a few $100s and, it does add up. So you got to be careful. You may be getting things in bulk and getting a great price, but if you end up throwing half of it out, what'd you accomplish?
Oh, it's such a waste. Oh, it kills me when that happens because I am guilty of it just like a lot of people are. And you say to also limit the number of times that you visit the store. And I'm all about that. It's not one of my favorite things to do. So if I can get all my shopping done for a month in one day, I'll do it. But sometimes that's not realistic.
Shopping is not a hobby. It's not meant to take your time up. Go for a walk. If you want to go for a walk, go outside, or if you can't, go outside, figure something out.
But it's free.
And it's free. And you know what? The less times you go to the mall or the store, the less opportunities you have to part with your money, your hard-earned money. So stay out of the stores. Go there as little as possible. If you have to shop once every 2 weeks. Some people shop every week. But try to limit that as much as possible.
And I know this is advice that you've given in the past, but to also try to shop with cash. So you've got just so much cash in your wallet. If you cannot afford all the things that are in your basket, maybe try to pare it down so that it lands within the $20 or $40 that you brought with you.
Exactly. I mean, you don't want to sit there and get buy something that's 10% off that you can't afford. You put it on the credit card that's charging you 25% more, and
it beats the purpose.
You're going to end up paying more. So try to use cash or at the very least a debit card every time you shop.
Howard, fantastic advice. Thank you again. Good to see you.
Thanks so much.
We're back in 2 minutes.